time for us liberos parang to have the spotlight that we deserve.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Season podcast, where we get to know the sports that you know about and those that you should know about. Once again, I am Jigo Sison, and today's guest is the former best libero of the NCAA Juniors division. Actually, I'm not sure kung rookie ka pa rin when UAP returns, but as of right now, the rookie libero for the Ateneo men's volleyball team, Lance De Castro. Lance, thank you so much for making time and for being here.
Hi, Kuya. Thank you for having me.
So I'll just start off by asking you, what have you been up to with this whole pandemic? I know right now you're not in the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
but how are you? What's up with you right now?
This past year, nag-training lang kami kasi I think we should really need to stay fit pa rin. Kasi 'di ba, parang merong time na parang UAP's cancellation wasn't really parang announced pa. So we trained talaga every day, like every day kami nag-training until last December ata when it was announced. So ngayon, I train like every day pa rin, pero if I am in the Philippines, we train MWF, synchronous, and then TTH, asynchronous, anytime yun. So, yun lang. So, every MWF, we just follow coach's program. But right now, as I am currently residing here in Dubai, I am training every hapon na. Kasi, you know,
Three time
it's too
difference,
early,
yeah.
yeah. No time difference. So, I still follow coach's program pa rin to stay fit. And our weights training pa din. May weights naman here. So,
So how do you because I've had some volleyball guests did before, sila Zirvasha Beatan, and
yeah,
they're
I
saying
saw
na
it.
parang it's not that it's kind of hard then to train on your own with volleyball. Like
Yeah, super.
um especially parang you really need a partner, at least another person to train with. So what's your training like right now? Obviously aside from the physicals, parang yung mga skills.
Mm. Kasi for me, number one, it's really hard to train, especially right now. Kasi you don't know where to get your motivation from. Kasi before, like, we used to train every day. We used to see our teammates, our coaches, and we get motivated every day talaga to stay fit and be, and improve talaga every day. Pero as of now, sobrang hirap na kumuha ng motivation, especially with what's happening with the whole country and the whole world.
Yeah, yeah.
And kaya sobrang hirap din kumuha ng motivation. So, kailangan talaga to push yourself talaga harder to
Yeah.
get up every day and start your day with a training or whatever. So, as per for the skills naman, it's very hard din kasi, especially for me, I really need, kasi nag-focus si coach namin, especially when it comes to receiving eh.
Mm.
So, I really need someone to serve a ball
Yeah.
sa akin. Kaso, in my case, since wala akong partner and I don't have a sibling to do it for me, kasi they play basketball naman. Pero, ang ginagawa ko, I serve it against the wall and then I
Mm.
receive it. Like, nag-serve ako on full force. Pero, yeah, it's kind of hard pa rin. Pero, yung mga ball control, yeah, it's easy naman kasi you do it like, naka-stand ka lang naman to,
Kaya naman. Yeah.
yeah, kaya naman siya.
Okay, so we'll try to get into your career now. Because I'm glad that you mentioned nga that you have siblings that are into sports pero different sport, diba?
Yeah.
Basketball, and it's not surprising din naman. I mean, basketball is pretty big here. So that's
Mm.
where I wanted to start off. Na parang what you've been doing this since you were really young, as far as I know,
Yeah.
right? So why parang what made you get into volleyball? What's the story behind that?
Actually, it's very funny kasi at first kasi I wasn't really into sports talaga. Pero syempre, dahil nga I have an older brother, pero he's 1 year older lang naman than me. And then, syempre, like the usual, ay the typical, parang gagayahin mo yung mas young, gagayahin yung mas older sa kanya
Yeah.
na brother, di ba? So, my brother really, I tried out for volleyball, like when he was in grade 6 and I was in grade 5. And then, syempre, nainggit ako. So, I tried out then for volleyball. And then the moment I got in, he left naman because he tried out for another sport, which is basketball. And
Okay.
then from there, ayun, nag-enjoy ako, nagtuloy-tuloy na ako. Ay, sabi ko, I like then the environment inside the team when I was in grade school. I went from siya na Taytay, siya na college Taytay. I have the same school with Ateneo Samson.
Okay.
Yeah.
S-
So
s-
yun.
Okay, so it's pretty small school, tama ba?
Yeah,
So
kind of.
parang what was the like mataas ba yung competition level? Like what leagues were you joining back then?
Mm, it's very funny kasi when I was in grade school, hindi talaga ako hindi ako magaling at all. As in, sakto lang. Tas,
According to you lang to. Baka naman yung
i...
mga teammates
hindi.
mo.
Feeling ko talaga. So, yun. And then, meron akong teammates na, nag-UST siya nung high school siya. Nag-transfer siya to UST. Pero now, he's in Canada at or US. Tapos, hindi ako nakaabot ng provincial meet, if you
Okay.
know what that is. A
Yeah, yeah.
provincial
Yung
meet
mga
and then,
palaro, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
to palaro. And then going into high school, I started playing, parang na-accept ako sa provincial meet ng grade 8 na. Yeah, it was my first time playing in provincial level or something. Tapos I never got into palarong pambansa or regional meet kasi I transferred to San Beda Taytay, College Taytay. And when I was in grade 9 and then from there, hindi ako na-accept kasi yung time na yung league ng Stakaa, kasabay siya it was the same time as for my beach volleyball tournament. So, hindi talaga ako
Okay.
nakasabay ever since. But yeah, pero actually, medyo blessing in disguise siya for me kasi I don't I don't know. Pero missed opportunities din. Pero it's fine naman for me kasi
Yeah.
I have reasons naman.
Okay, so were you always a libero from the start?
Back when I was in grade school, no, I was an open
Oh,
hitter. Pero
okay.
when I got into high school, when I was in grades kasi, pinaglaro na ako ng coach ko to play in high school division as a libero. And then
Okay.
yun, from there, libero na ako. And then I transferred to San Beda. San Beda recruited me because they were champions kasi during that league. So they got me. And then they made me as their libero. Pero there were times na I was as open spiker kasi kulang kami sa players.
Okay.
Kasi overage na yung iba.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nag-spiker din ako for some time.
Okay.
Pero
Okay.
now, I'm a libero. Full-time
Yeah,
libero.
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get into that naman a little later. But I just to follow up then from you started out because of your brother, but what is it? Parang you could have transferred then, or you could have left the sport also. So what is
Yeah.
it about volleyball that parang what made you stick to it of other sports, other activities?
Hmm. I don't know. I just feel like I enjoy parang hitting a ball. I don't know why. Kasi kahit yung mga relatives ko, parang every time I lay my hands on them, like accidentally lang naman, parang
Ah,
sabihin nila sobrang bigat ng kamay ko. So I don't know. So I feel like it's a calling din for me kasi nakakuha ko ng scholarship until now
yeah.
since high school. So sobrang blessed din talaga.
Pero hindi naman yun relevant if you're gonna be a libero naman na mabigat yung okay.
Maliit ako. That's the main reason.
Okay, wait. So, with if we look at the other sports like kunwari baseball, there's so many leagues that they can watch, na international leagues, like especially in the states with MLB, even tennis, yung mga Grand
Yeah.
Slams, all of that. I'm not really familiar because if there's that kind of thing for volleyball players here now, like is there a league that you're watching growing up that's the same as those bigger leagues, or is
Wait,
it
in the
like
Philippines?
yeah, like are
Yeah,
you
there is.
guys watching leagues abroad, or are you focused more on like UAP when you're
I'm
watching?
I actually I opened myself into volleyball kasi when nag-start, ano ba, season 75. Yeah, I think season 75. Pero, during that time kasi marami ring leagues, men's league eh. Like PSL, yung mga
Yeah.
sistema, maraming teams na sobrang lalakas. Sobrang dami ko ring in-idolize dahil doon. Sila Cagayan, sila Kuya Mark sila Kuya Rex, mga alumni ng volleyball din. Sila.
So,
Tapos, I also watch sa YouTube lang to, sa mga season 70. So yung
okay.
mga medyo tatanda. Yung sila Coach Timmy, yung head coach namin,
Yeah,
sobrang
yeah.
galing.
So,
Sobrang
so mostly parang when you're growing up, talagang local yung pinapanood, right?
yeah,
How?
local, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now going back na to you're from grade school you went to San Beda. What's the story there? Like how did they approach you, or like was may nakalaban mo sila and then like super ganda ng game mo, or how did you decide, or like what made you decide to go to Beda?
Kasi nakalaban namin sila championship game, like
Okay.
Siena versus San Beda. And then it was a five-setter game. And I think okay naman yung nilaro ko. Okay na yung laro. And then right after that, they recruited me for their team to play in the provincial meet naman. And then, yeah, during their training, we went to their school kasi. So, when I was there, parang they asked me if I want to transfer the following year, which is my
Uh,
third year high
okay,
school.
so they asked you to play for them before you transferred. Kasi nga
Yeah,
provincial. Yeah, okay, okay.
yeah.
Gets. All right.
And then they asked me if I want to transfer sa Beda the following year. And then I asked, at first kasi I was hesitant kasi my head coach and my previous school in Siena kasi it was like a father figure to me kasi. So,
Mhm.
pero nag-ano siya, parang nag-resign siya to venture out on another career. So yun, that's what made me transfer na talaga to Beda. Pero thankfully nga, yun, paglaro ko in a prestigious league. So,
Yeah.
dami experience din.
Okay, so before we go to syempre yung awards na pinag-usapan ko kanina, I've always been curious because I'm pretty sure athletes are aware of it, but the ones that don't really play competitively don't know this. Now, there's always, or most of the time, I don't know with you, there's a story behind the number that you pick. I don't know if it's the
Okay.
same with you, but I'm gonna ask na parang you were number 2 in high school
Yeah, in
and
high
number
school, yeah.
5 now. So I just wanna ask, parang is there like a backstory behind the choice of the number?
Number 2. Okay, kasi before, I am a fan of women's volleyball.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I think I
until
know.
now naman, until now. Sobrang galing naman nila lahat. And then, same as sa men. So, I pick number 2 kasi because of Ate Alay.
Yeah,
And
okay,
then,
sabi ko eh.
Ate Alay. And then, during that time kasi, parang kalaban nila yung Cagayan Valley. Basta Cagayan Valley. Women's team ng Cagayan. Kalaro naman din nun sa opposite side si Ate Anggeta Baquero. They're both number twos, and then they're really, especially Ate Angge, she's really good in receiving, digging back then. And then, sobrang galing nila. So, that's what made me pick
Okay.
number 2.
Tapos, okay, but you changed, okay, I don't know if it's because you're a rookie or parang naubusan ka ng number, but
Yeah.
like, is that why you ended up being number 5 now?
Yeah. Pero there were other numbers naman na vacant kasi marami yung umalis sa amin last year. Pero I picked why did I pick number 5 ba? I don't know. Kasi sa prayer, by number kasi pag prayer. So, dun ako sa medyo gitna na lang,
Gitna
number
naman.
5. Kasi matagal na yung iba eh. So, para matapos na kagad, para mag-lead ng ano.
Okay.
So, yeah, I picked number 5 because of that.
Okay. So going back na to your stint with San Beda, you transferred there grade 9 na, di ba?
Yeah,
Medyo
grade 9.
wala pa kaming grade 9 nung time namin. So that's basically parang first year high
Third,
school, parang ganun.
no,
Ay, the junior
para
high
siyang,
pala.
yeah,
Junior high
para
na
siyang
kasi.
third year
Okay,
high
okay.
school. Yeah.
Third year ng junior high. Tama ba?
Yeah, third
Basta
year ng
yun.
junior high.
Okay, so you came in that time, were you already on the NCAA team from the get go?
On my first year, hindi pa kasi may rules na ano may rules na
Parang
two
residency.
transferees lang per
Ah,
team.
okay, okay.
Since ang kailangan nila nun hindi libero. Kaya
Okay.
mas kailangan, I mean kailangan ng libero pero mas kailangan nila ng middle saka ng setter. So
Mm.
yun yung kinuha sa amin. And then I played for beach volleyball naman during that time.
Okay. So you got to play. When did you get to play? The next year, grade
Yeah, the
10.
next year, grade
Okay.
10.
So I guess how did that go? Were you guys champions like all the time, or
No. No, I feel like we're the underdog. Yeah, we're the underdog. Kasi we finished, during my grade 10 kasi I think we finished, ano ba, parang fifth ata. I'm not sure. I can't remember na. Pero we're like fifth or sixth.
pero yung okay? So fast forward ka na sa best libero year mo. What like how were you performing? Parang did you already know like with how good you were playing? Did you know that you were gonna get the
No,
award?
actually no. Kasi there's this, something happened kasi during that year. Kasi we started strong talaga. Like our team started strong. Pero our first game namin talaga kami kasi it's against the defending champions, Perpetual. Pero the following games, parang we ended up 4-1 ata. 4-1 or 3-1. And then we defeated the mga sobrang malalakas na teams, fortunately. Tapos, and then something happened about, kasi inalagay dun, kasi we have a parang player na same name as his brother, na pero hindi lineup yung isa, parang
Okay.
reserved lang.
Okay.
And then, yung nalagay na name, yung reserved na brother,
Okay.
reserve player na brother. And then, pero naglalaro sa first six namin, yung hindi nakalagay na name.
Uh,
And then, ayun, and then nalaman nung parang board of committee nila. And then they forfeited all our games.
wow.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
was very heartbreaking for me kasi it was my last year and
Yeah.
I'm like all of us were hoping na parang we could finally like after several years na makapasok kami ng Final Four. And then yun. And then right after that, ayun, and di na forfeit na yung games namin. And then yun, pababa na kami ng pababa. So, hindi na kami nakapasok ng Final Four ulit.
Pero nag-best libero ka naman.
Nag-best ever ako, pero I feel like kasi kailangan all out na. I mean, dapat every year naman
Yeah,
all
yeah,
out.
of course, of course.
Pero during that year kasi I feel like it's my redemption year because of last year's losses. Eh. So, I had this motivation talaga to push forward talaga. And I actually, yeah, I was the team captain when I was in grade 12. Yeah, it's my last year during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time that I got this Libero. So, I really got motivated because of it. Kasi the tiwala and parang, the tiwala role that coach gave me, parang, sobra kailangan ko siyang panghawakan talaga.
So, how was the it's not that known kasi parang yung recruitment process for volleyball. I feel like parang it doesn't get as much attention as like basketball.
Yeah.
Understandably. I mean, basketball is like crazy naman, but like
Yeah.
parang what's the recruitment like like were teams approaching you third year pa lang or like fourth year na going to college?
Going to college kasi it's a funny story din kasi I play volleyball like sa ABC team if you know that sa Ateneo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
I
same
play
club.
dun sa Cov Courts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sa
Okay.
Cov Courts ako naglalaro. Like it's like parang laro-laro lang.
Mm.
And then our team manager, Kuya Borgie,
Okay.
parang nakita niya ako. Pero I'm not playing as a libero back then. Parang I'm playing as an open hitter ata.
Yeah.
Parang joke-joke. Tapos, and then yun, parang he knows my our setter back then. Kasi yun yung setter namin sa Beda na kilala rin niya. And then, sabay niya kaming, in-approach na siya. Tapos, he asked for my name. And then, right after that, parang, he-messaged me na. Parang yun. And then, he asked me for some several questions. Parang, he asked for my grades. He asked for my how if I want to transfer in Ateneo, what's my dream school for college, ganun. Right, like, ever since kasi, Ateneo was really my first choice talaga. Like,
Okay.
I really want to play into Ateneo. So, Yun. And then right after that, I was in grade 9 pala back then. Grade 9 ako nun.
Okay. Matagal
Yeah.
pa. Okay.
Kinausap ako ni Kuya Borgie when I was in grade 9. And then, yun nga, then, ang dami nangyari. Kasi hindi rin ako masyadong magaling mag-receive talaga back then. So, parang, I don't know, kasi before ako mag-Ateneo, parang they have their first choice na.
Okay.
I don't want to mention names lang, pero they have their first choice na. Parang,
For the libero
then,
position.
yeah, for the
Tama.
libero
Okay.
position. To replace Kuya Sumang. And then, sabi ko, parang delikado ako dito. Parang kailangan ko na magganap ng ibang school And then yun, and then last minute ata, parang, yung libero na yun, he's older than me, 1 year lang talaga.
Okay. So,
Tapos
bale
I
mauna
played,
siya.
mauna siya.
Yeah.
Tapos I played with him din sa NCAA. Tapos, sabi ko, nako, delikado ata ako dito, di ata makakapasok. So, I need to have my backup talaga. And then yun, it happened na parang last minute, nag-transfer to another school yung libero na yun. He's playing there in the UAP last 2 years ata, or last year lang.
Okay.
Can't remember. Pero he's really good, especially in receiving. Sobrang idol talaga siya. Sobrang galing niya. So, sabi ko, Lance, catch up tayo dyan. Ganun. Tapos yun, and then, I got my Best Libero Award. Sabi nga ni Daddy, parang sabi niya, dapat, parang buti daw ako. Kung hindi daw, baka daw hindi ako na Ateneo. Sabi ko na, oo nga di eh. Ganun ako. And then yun, right after that, the recruitment process na, I watched Ateneo games na from back then, since then pala. And then yun, kinausap na ako for the exam, for everything, for the recruitment process na.
So, okay. Pero, it started in grade 9 pa lang. And I guess yung first scouting nila sa'yo was not as a libero.
Well, they saw me na to play as a libero. Pero, parang it's destiny lang na Kuya Borgie saw me playing as in Cov Courts as an open hitter naman.
Okay. So, were there other schools, I guess, na you were considering or that approached you eventually?
I actually parang tried out for NU before, pero I can't remember which year yun eh. Pero I tried out for them, and then
Parang for high school pa, maybe, ganun. Or
hindi, I was in high school pero parang grade 10 ata ako noon, grade 9.
okay.
Pero I'm going to play for them sa college level
pa.
na, yeah. And then ayun, parang pinapabalik ako ni coach. I can't remember the name, sorry. Pero yun, pinapabalik ako ng coach nila kasi walk-in tryout lang din ako eh. Parang ganun, parang they check me lang yung skills ko, ganun. And then pinapabalik nila ako. Kaso yun nga, parang and then I weighed out my options talaga. Sabi ko, kaya ko ba sa NU? Ganun. And then yun, sabi ko, kaso nag-push ko na yung yung sa Ateneo. So I chose Ateneo na. Pero there are, other than that, siguro players lang from other teams like Lasal.
They're like inviting you, ganun.
Yeah, they're inviting me to try out for them. Kasi yung libero dati ng Lasal, si Kuya Rafi Makaspak, he was my senior in San Beda rin. So he asked me if I want to try out for them, ganun, if I want to play for Lasal, ganun. Pero like, yung mga coaches talaga, they didn't really like ask me formally if I want to try out for their team.
Okay, so now we go, you're in Ateneo na. What was, how was it, I guess, I don't know, yung first practice or like, parang what was the team like? What was the training like?
Okay. The moment I got into Ateneo, since it was my dream school talaga, so sobrang surreal talaga yung moment and feeling for me. And then sobrang saya ko nun back then. Pero and then going into the team, sobrang na-welcome nila ako like the first I got into team. So parang sabi ko, okay, this will be my home for the next 5 or 6 years. So yeah, parang na yung ganong parang moment bigla sa akin, parang okay, ganun. Sige, ito na yung pipiliin ko talaga. No matter what. And then the training. Next question. Joke. Okay, yung training sobrang sobrang hirap talaga. Pero kaya naman.
Is it a lot, is it a lot different from high school?
Yeah, super.
Super.
Parang
Okay.
this is college. Pero sobrang hirap talaga. Parang, kasi in high school kasi, napansin ko yun, in high school kasi parang they skip na to learn the ano na. Parang they're more on the combination plays. They're more on the parang technical sides na of volleyball. Pero when it comes to when I entered Ateneo, I started like all of us talaga like started from from the very beginning, from the basics talaga. From how
Okay.
to dig a ball, from how to receive a ball. Kasi yun nga, sabi ni coach sa amin, parang it really starts in the basics talaga. So we really need to master that. So parang for the whole summer, tinitrain lang namin is ball control and yung basics ng volleyball. And then and then yun, everything follows na after that.
So who are the guys that really welcomed you into the team? Kasi parang sino ba yung batch ko? Batch ko kasi sila, I think siguro yung seniors mo, sila Basti,
Sila Kuya
Gian
Basti.
Glorioso. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, hindi naman leading question, but like who was the who are the teammates that you got closest to or that really helped you adjust, I guess, to the team?
Adjust to the team. Kasi, si Kuya Pao, Trinidad, I feel like
Okay.
kabatch mo rin siya. Kuya Pao
Baka,
Trinidad,
pero
yeah.
kasi Ateneo High School din sila Basti.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mm-mm.
Okay, so anyways, go on.
So, kasi si Kuya Pao talaga, parang ano kasi, every time na may ano sa amin sa team, like papasok sa team, si Kuya Pao talaga usually nag-entertain sa kanila.
Okay.
Like sa amin, like tuturuan kami mag-stretch, like proper stretches before the training and then cool down after the training. Siya talaga nag-train sa amin. Ay, nagtuturo ng mga yon. And then, during the year, I built relationships, like friendships na talaga inside the team. Like, may circle talaga. Like, all of them naman, like, ano naman, became my source of motivation talaga to train every day and to kasi sobrang no culture shock ako kasi it was my first time to move out the house kasi I'm
Okay.
from Rizal, diba? So
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
naka-dorm ako inside dati na yun. So parang sobrang yung emotional state ko hindi
Yeah.
masyadong well that time. So yeah, every parang every time na parang I get too emotional, parang they always remind me na parang this is what my family wants then for me, and then they really want me to pursue the career that I really want to pursue and my dream. So yun, parang with those guiding words, parang I really felt comfort talaga, especially when I'm with them. So yun, I'm really thankful din kasi without them talaga feeling ko di ko masusurpass yung Ateneo journey ko lalo nung first year.
Okay, so but are you the dalawa lang kayong libero at the time? Tama, two or three, I think. Because you had Sumanguid, right? The
Yeah,
veteran.
we're three.
Three, okay. So
Yeah,
how
we're
was
three.
that coming into the team na parang, syempre rookie ka tapos,
Mm-mm.
I mean, si Sumang's pretty, like, he's been there, and he's
Yeah,
been very successful. So I guess, what
super.
have you, what have you picked up from him or like, parang, what's the dynamic between you two?
First of all, Kuya Sumang talaga is really my idol talaga ever since. Like, in a libero position, sobrang galing niya. Parang, I feel like he's arguably the best libero in the country right now for me. Like, in my opinion. So, being under his shed, parang sobrang grateful and blessed talaga ako at the same time kasi kasi nga I feel like my weakness talaga is receiving eh. Kuya Sumang is known for his receiving skills. So I got picked up a lot of pointers, a lot of do's and don'ts when it comes to receiving. So sobrang blessed talaga ako to have him as my parang kuya and my senior talaga.
I guess, ano pa ba to? Before we get to the yung canceled season, you guys got to have training, diba, in Japan? Tama ba?
Yeah, last
So
year,
how was
January.
that? Parang was it like, I mean, I don't know if you had that kind of level of training before, but what was it like? What was the experience like?
Before kasi, as Ang alam ko before, parang they train talaga like in, I don't know if in Taiwan, pero in Thailand, they go talaga there like every year to train. And then last year lang, nag-Japan and parang nakasama ako. Ganun, nakasama kaming mga rookies to train in Japan. And then, grabe yung system of play nila. As in, sobrang lala, sobrang galing, sobrang high IQ. As in, parang na-notice ko sa kanila kasi they're really patient when it comes to volleyball. And that's one like fundamental thing na para ini-instill sa amin ni coach. Like patience in volleyball. Patience and discipline talaga when it comes to playing volleyball. Kasi yun talaga yung mga Japanese players eh. Parang in a rally, parang if they didn't get a perfect set from the setter, like they didn't get a good set from the setter or like receive, parang they really just rebound, like papatamayan lang sa blockers to parang bumalik yung ball ng paganon sa amin for us to have a chance ball again. And then yun,
Yeah.
parang hindi sila masyado napapagod. Pero yung systems of play talaga nila sobrang high level eh. Parang hindi sila sobrang power maglaro when it comes ay compared to the other countries or like teams. Parang yung ibang player nga sa amin mas malakas pang pumalo kaysa sa kanila. Pero yun nga, system of play nila sobrang taas. Yung IQ yung level nila sobrang taas kaya doon nila kami natatalo talaga.
So when you went there, what is it like? You guys were training, parang the coaches of Japan were training you guys, or you got to play against teams or both?
Both
Okay.
naman. So we played several like we went there kasi dun sa there's this school there and then sumali kami sa training program nila for like 2 weeks. Pero nag-training pa rin kami on our own and then every day, every afternoon we play against them to like apply the what we've learned during the morning or like during the training.
Okay, wait. Meron kayong anong tawag dito? You got to play though in Spikers Turf,
Spiker's Turf, yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
my
Okay.
first experience playing in a huge crowd.
So how was I mean how was that? Because like for me, parang iba rin naman yung like it might even be better for you as a player because like when you play
Yeah,
against UAP, it's like there's an age limit. But when you
yeah,
play against Spikers Turf, you're playing against pros, diba?
yeah,
Or
super.
yeah, basically. So parang what was the experience like there? Um, yeah,
I'm super honored talaga to play for Spikers Turf kasi Kuya Sumang was playing for Signal kasi for their
yeah.
Signal team. They're the champions, by the way. And then and then playing for Spikers Turf, sobrang saya kasi I just don't get to play with other UAP players but I get to play with national team players.
Mm.
Like sila Kuya Mark, Kuya Kuya Ranran Abdilia, sila Kuya Jesse Lopez. Yes, yung mga established career na talaga when it comes to playing volleyball. Kaso, yeah, and I think I played well naman there except for our Air Force game. sobrang sobrang nun. Nilabas agad ako ni coach.
um, we know kasi na how big volleyball got very recently. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure parang medyo high school pa ako when it talagang nag-boom eh. But that was mostly sa women's volleyball.
Yeah.
So do you think the men's volleyball gets a lot of attention also? Or did you see the change in the popularity of the sport with regards to men's volleyball also?
Yeah. Definitely, especially when our men's team won their silver medal in the SEA Games. Parang the men's volleyball talaga got the recognition they truly deserve, like even way back. Kasi parang especially our media kasi focuses on the women's team. I mean, no offense naman pero parang
Deserved din naman.
yeah, sobrang deserve ng men's talaga kasi they pour the same hard work in the ano naman in their craft naman. So sobrang deserve din talaga. At saka not to mention Kuya Mark and Kuya Brian Bagunas who played recently in Japan and in I forgot where Kuya Mark played. I think in Bahrain ba? Basta somewhere in the Middle East. Tapos yun. Pero and parang sobrang meron talaga tayong parang high caliber players especially in the men's volleyball talaga.
Okay, so I'll go to that segment that I was telling you about earlier. So it's called sleepers. I don't know if you know. Usually it's a term sa mga sports leagues na may draft. So basically,
Yeah.
parang kunwari if you fall late in the draft, pero you're really good, sleeper ka, parang ganun. So basically, I've had this segment before, like I mentioned with Harvey, and I tried to talk about the lalo na pag popular sport. Volleyball is like super popular in the Philippines. So I try to talk about the underrated aspects. And sakto, libero ka. And that's, for me at least, parang medyo underrated
Yeah.
aspect siya ng ano. So I guess I don't know if kasi yung common thing with this and the last segment I had is pareho silang defensive positions. And I kind of get it. Obviously, when you join a sport, medyo offense yung focus mo.
Yeah.
But just to get an idea of what exactly a libero is, and I guess to go against the misconceptions. Parang we know that defensive, we know na different color yung suot. But basically, what's the role of a libero, and what are I guess yung common misconceptions that you've heard about it that you should probably debunk?
Mm, aside from having a different color of jersey, feeling ko like the most parang the common misconception about liberos, parang they're not really like a vital role. They don't have really a vital role in the team, which is obviously wrong. Kasi parang, especially in Ateneo, parang in Ateneo kasi really, really focus on defense talaga eh. So, defense is really important. Like, it's one of the key factors to win a game. Kasi you can, like, I forgot that quotation eh, pero parang, basta it's about defense. And
Parang
then,
defense wins championships yung
yeah,
ganun.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
And then, sobrang vital ng role na yun kasi parang everything starts with the receiver, especially when the ball is coming from your opponent. Parang mag-serve sila, you need to defend their you need to defend the ball, and then you have to deliver it to the setter perfectly. Kasi when you have a perfect receive talaga, dun makakapag-execute ng plays yung setter, parang just receive the ball and then the setter, siya na yung bahala kung paano niya lalaroin yung blockers ng kalaban. So, it's it maybe is parang a one thing lang, like receiving and digging lang, pero it's much more than that. Parang I think it's about time for us liberos parang to give to have the spotlight that we deserve. Especially yung mga older, like my senior liberos, sila Kuya Sumang, they really deserve their acknowledgement, their recognition kasi without their help, sobrang malaking butas si team yun if walang libero.
And okay, wait lang. I think a common misconception is a libero can actually set. Tama ba? It can.
Yeah,
Okay.
he can, a libero can set like toss,
Yeah.
pero he needs to be sa backline lang, wag sa
Backline. Okay.
frontline. Yeah. Pero kapag naman nakapag-set sa frontline, the return of the ball dun sa kalaban, dapat hindi siya like power hit talaga. Dapat like chance ball lang din. Or
Okay.
like stand serve, ganun. Ay, stand spike, ganun. So, stand spike ba? Hindi, over lang. You just need to over it kapag nakapag-set. Pero, merong kasi matagal na to, parang Brazil pa, nagpauso. Like way back, parang isa-set dun sa quicker, like quick set from the back row. Ginagawa ni Kuya Sumang to. Parang isa-set niya from the back row dun ng mabilis, dun sa middle quicker, paharap. Pwede yun. Basta everything na galing sa backline na set, it's fine.
And backline lang naman talaga yung libero, diba? That's why you guys
Yeah,
something's
backline
about.
lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, para personally na rin backline and can't serve. Tama. Learning.
Pero, I don't know if it's still applicable now in NCAA US. Kasi before, parang their libero can serve sa NCAA. Pero I don't know if it's still
Okay.
applicable nowadays.
Okay. Now, do you know the logic behind the different color? Is it really just to keep an eye on who the libero is?
Yeah. Actually,
That's really
that's basically the reason behind it.
okay.
Parang
Makes
hindi na
sense.
need ng substitution every
Yeah. Okay. Now, is it would you say that it's less likely for someone joining volleyball to parang think na I'm gonna be a libero from the start? Because parang usually like when you join the sport, it's really like you want to be like Eliza Valdez, you want to
Yeah.
be spiking all the time. So parang why is it that why do you think people are less likely to think of the libero position as their go-to?
Kasi first of all, di naman kasi nakakapag-score yung liberos eh. Like, siguro, chamba-chamba,
Ah,
mga ano. Pero kasi most likely, they want to be an open hitter, like, or any middle position or spiker position they want to be. Kasi, yun yung mga go-to players eh. Yun yung mga nag-score inside during the game, yun yung mga, like, like, they outshine other players if they're really good. So, I think that's the main reason why they really choose to be a spiker. Actually, a setter is, I think setter din, parang it's not really their first pick. Parang most of our setters, parang they were just converted to being a setter, if
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
So, ayun. But I'm sure that the real yung talagang the ones that really play volleyball know how important the
Yeah.
libero position is. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there's this other segment that I like to have, and I guess it's called Change Court, Change Sport. So it's basically parang just getting to know like okay, what are the other sports that they're interested in or that they want to try. So that's my first question. Parang if there's any other sport that you would want to try, I guess parang it doesn't have to be competitively naman. Yung tipong like you see the sport and like that's like you've always wanted to try it. What would
Yeah.
that be?
I think it would be badminton. May ano pa yun sa hating eh, no? Pero, kasi, ewan ko, badminton, kasi hindi siya sobrang like, ano eh. Ayun, sobrang hirap siya, pero hindi siya yung like, you have to sprint back and
uh,
forth. Like, strides lang eh, long
just
strides
footwork,
lang.
yeah.
Yeah, footwork lang. So, pero sobrang hirap na rin ng footwork, sobra. And then, pero kasi when I was in high school, pag may mga sports fest kami, we don't get to play our own sport kasi that would be unfair.
Yeah,
So, my
yeah.
first choice talaga would be badminton talaga.
Okay. Okay. So in here in the Philippines, who would you say is your favorite athlete? But from a actually, let's go both. What favorite athlete in general? That was favorite athlete from a different sport, so not volleyball.
Okay. So, in volleyball talaga, I would really have to say Kuya Sumang. Sumanggid talaga, ever since talaga. Kasi, I don't know, the discipline and the drive that he has for volleyball talaga, it's really sobrang amazing talaga. Especially when I get to see him play. Parang during our trainings, dapat parang malapagan lang siya ng bola o kaya makapag-misreceive lang siya. Which happens very rarely talaga. Parang sobra siyang, hindi mo siya na-upset, pero parang like, inaaral niya talaga parang on how to receive the ball
Yeah.
yung ganung in that situation. Parang he really goes on the technical side, hindi lang basta maka-receive ka. Kailangan the moment you dig a ball, it should be like as much as possible dapat perfect sa setter, mataas sa setter. And then when you receive the ball dapat um it goes straight to the setter kahit saan man yung setter. And then dapat also ang natutunan ko kasi kay Sumang, the way he leads a team. Like kasi liberos are known for their cheerful, I mean I don't know,
Yeah.
personality or whatsoever. Pero kay Sumang became like he's one of the voice inside the team, especially in the first six. So he's one of the seniors na who really leads talaga in the team during a game. And then for other sports, actually wala akong masyadong kilala. Pero I feel like yung batchmates ko, Ateneo pa rin. Pero yung mga
Yeah. Go
batchmates
lang.
ko sa other sports, like they're really, especially, yeah, I'm going to mention her.
Go
She
lang.
deserves a recognition. Si Marge, she's a classmate of mine. And then she plays swimming, like she's a swimmer. Tapos, nagkaroon sila ng record-breaking parang time.
Yeah.
Parang sa buong UAP history, parang dun yun sa may relay ata or something.
Relay. Yeah.
Pero, yeah. Pero, they got the fastest time limit. to finish. So, sobrang deserve ng recognition. As well as my other batchmates naman na sobrang galing. Parang they really have this potential in them. Tapos, mga feeling ko, mga next phenom yun. Mga yun. Sobrang gagaling talaga.
Okay, before we end lang, I guess parang what would be your, I guess, personal tips to, all the aspiring volleyball players, especially yung mga libero, especially kung gusto nila mag-libero from a young age.
For me kasi, I feel like for me, everything will fall back to its right place in the right time talaga. Parang, if you've been consistently having failures, it's okay. Parang it's a way, or like a step towards your success talaga. Even I have had multiple failures talaga going to Ateneo. Pero the moment I got into Ateneo, I said to myself na this is my dream. I need to live it like to the fullest talaga. Pero syempre, I haven't really um achieved my goal talaga, which is to win a championship in the UAAP as of the moment. And then ano pa ba? Pray hard pero work harder talaga. Kasi if you pray and then you don't do something out of it, you're not going to get what is God giving you, or like what is God planned for you in the next days or years.
Okay, so once again, that was Lance de Castro. Lance, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Please don't hesitate to let us know in the comments what the other sports you'd like to hear about, or who the other athletes you'd like to see and hear from. We'll try our best to get them on the pod. Please also don't forget to hit that like button or that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode here on Sports Season.